Hello students, in this lecture we will discuss about some other results and examples based on the continuity and homeomorphism. In the first example we have, let X is a set and Tau1 is a topology on X and Y is another set and Tau2 is a topology on Y, and F is a function from X to Y which is defined by A is mapping to P, B is mapping to Q and C is mapping to R. Then check the continuity of F at a set X. Now to check the continuity of a F at set X, we need to check the continuity of F at all the points of X, that is A, B and C. So first we take X set that is containing A, B, C. There is another set Y which is containing P, Q and R. Here A is mapping to P, function is F, B is P and C is mapping to R. Now to check the continuity at point A, now from the definition of the continuity at point A, then for every open set V in Y which is containing F of A, there exists one open set U, at least one open set in X that is containing A, such that F of U is containing V. Now for this particular A point, its mapping is to P. So now we take those open set which is containing P point here. So these are P, PR, these are open set in Y and Y also. Then call it V1, V2, V3. For each open set, we get at least one open set here, that is U, which is containing A point here. So we take two open set here, that is A and X. Now F of U should contain in V. So for this particular V1, we take at least one open set U1 here. F of A, it's mapping to P, so it is set P here which is contained in V1. And for this particular V2, again we take U1 here. So F of A is contained in V2 also. And for this V3, again we can take A here. For this Y, we can take U2 also, as F of X is contained in Y. So it is true for all the open sets in Y which is containing F of A. So we can say that F is a continuous at point A. Now to check the continuity at P, we take all the open set that is containing F of B, and B is mapping to Q here. So we take all the open set that is Y only, call it V1. Then there exists at least one open set U which is containing B, it is X only, call it U1. And F of X is containing Y, so it is continuous at B. Now to check the continuity at C, then we take all the open set that is containing F of C, and C is mapping to R. So we take all the open sets in Y, it is PR and Y, call it V1 and V2. Then there exists at least one open set U which is containing C, but it is only X. But if we take F of U1, it is F of X, but it is not contained in V1 which is PR. Although F of X is contained in V2, that is Y, but it is not contained in V1. So it should be true for all open sets in Y that is containing F of C. So F is not continuous at point C, So we can't say that f is continuous at set x. So f is not continuous at set x. And the next example we have taken same x and y and topologies on the set x and y as we have taken in the first example, and a function g from x to y which is defined by all the points of x, that is a, b and c, are mapping to only one point in y. So it is like if x is a set a, b, c and y is a set which is containing p, q, r, then g is a mapping here. A is mapping to q, b is mapping to q and c is also mapping to q. Then g is a continuous map at x. Now to check the continuity of g at a set, we need to check the continuity of that function at all the points of x. So to check the continuity of a point A, for every open set in y that is containing g of a, it is q. So there is only y set which is containing q element, then call it v. Then there exists a one open set which is containing a element in x, but there are two sets, that is a and x. So in each case, so in this case we can take g of a is containing v, that is y. So for each open set b that is containing g of a in y, we get at least one open set u in x that is containing a, such that g of u is containing v. And it is also true for x, but here we get at least one open set that is satisfy this property. So g is a continuous at point A. Now to check the continuity at point B, we take all the open sets that is containing g of b in y, but it is y only because it is containing q element. So we take y as v, and there is just a one open set which is containing b element, it is x. So call it u, and it also satisfies this property, g of u is containing v. So g is continuous at b. Now to check the continuity at point C, so we take all the open sets that is containing g of c, it is y only. Similarly, we take it as b. There exists at least one open set, that is x, which is containing c element. So x is equal to u, which also satisfies this property. Thus we can say that g is continuous at all the points of x. So g is continuous at set x. Now in the next example we have, if f is a function from x to y and a is an element of x such that singleton A is a member of topology tau, it means singleton A is an open set in x, then f is continuous at point A, but converse need not be true. So to check the continuity of the function at point A, we take all the open set of y which is containing f of a, and then there exists at least one set u in x which is containing a, then f of u containing b. Thus we take one arbitrary open set in y which is containing f of a. So this v represents all the open set in y which is containing f of a. So a belongs to f inverse b, and this further implies singleton A is containing f inverse v, then f of a is containing v, and it is given that f of a is open. So if we take u is equal to a, then we can say that f of u is containing v, and u is an arbitrary open set in y which is containing f of a, and u is a set here which is containing a and it is open in x, and such that f of u is containing v. Thus we can say that f is continuous at a. But converse need not be true. It means if f is a continuous at point A, then singleton A is not open in x. So we can prove it by taking one example. Let us take X is a set which is containing 4 elements 1, 2, 3, 4, and tau is a topology on X. The members of the topologies are phi X, singleton 1, 1, 2, and 2, 3, 4. That f is a function from x to x, which is defined as f of 1 is equal to 2, f of 2 is equal to 4, 3 maps to 2, and f of 4 is equal to 3. So we can draw a map here. X is a set which is containing 1, 2, 3, 4. Image set is also X. Here 1 maps to 2, 2 maps to 4, 3 maps to 2, and 4 maps to 2. So here we can say that f is continuous at point 4. But singleton 4 does not belongs to the topology. As we can see that singleton 4 is not a member of the topology. So it is enough to prove that f is continuous at point 4. For this, we take each open set in X, because image set is also X, which is containing f of 4, that is 3. So take all the open set that is containing 3, it is X, and 2, 3, 4. Call it V1 and V2. Then there exists at least one open set in X that is containing 4. These are X and 2, 3, 4 itself. So we can call it U1 and U2. So it satisfies the condition f of U1 is contained in V1 and f of U2 is contained in V2. Thus we can say that f is continuous at 4. In the next example we take tau u is a usual topology here, and tau c represents the co-finite topology, and tau cc is a co-countable topology on the set of the real numbers. Then show that the identity map I1, that is from tau u to tau c, is continuous, but other identity maps are not continuous. So first we take I1. I1 is a identity map from usual topology to co-finite topology, and we already know that any open set in co-finite topology is also open in the usual topology. So if we take any open set in the co-finite topology, and if we take inverse image of it, because of the identity map it is A only, so every open set in co-finite topology is also open in the usual topology, so it belongs to U only. It belongs to tau u also. So I1 is a continuous map. So if we take I2, it is from tau c to tau u, and we have already studied that the open set in usual topology need not be open in the co-finite topological space. So if we take any set A which is open in the usual topology and take inverse image of it, then it is A, so does not belongs to tau C, because A is an arbitrary open set here, so it may or may not belongs to the co-finite topology. So we cannot say that I2 is a continuous mapping here. So if we take I3, I3 is tau u to tau C, it is a co-countable topology, and where tau u and tau CC, so usual topology and co-countable topology. So if we take any open set in the co-countable topology, then its inverse image is only A, then we cannot say that it belongs to the usual topology, because these are not comparable topology. So if we take any open set in the co-countable topology, that may or may not be belongs to the tau u. So similarly, if we take I4, that is tau C to tau u. So because of the incomparable of these topologies, if we take any open set from the usual topology, that need not be open in the co-countable topology. So we cannot say that I4 is a continuous mapping. So here we cannot say that I2, I3, I4 are continuous, but there is only one continuous map, that is tau u to tau C. Now the next example we have, let X is a set here and tau 1 is a topology on it and Y is another set and tau 2 is a topology on the set Y. So in the first part we define F from X to Y F of A is mapping to P. So we take X is a set here and Y is another set. A is containing ABC, Y is containing PQ and R. A is mapping to P, B is mapping to Q, C is mapping to R here. Then F is an open but not a continuous map. As we have already checked the continuity of F at the same set X in the first example, and it is not continuous at point C, so it is not continuous at set X. Now we check function is an open map. If function is open, if we take any open set in this, then its image is also open in Y. So we take all the open sets in X. These are phi, singleton A, X. Now if we take its image, F of phi is phi, so belongs to tau 2, so it is also open in Y. If we take singleton A, image of it is mapping to P, so it is P set, so belongs to tau, it is also open in Y. And if we take image of X, it is Y, so belongs to tau 2. So if we take any open set in X, its image is also open in Y. So F is an open map here. Now in the second part, let G is a function from X to Y, which is defined by all the points of X are mapping to only one element, that is Q, and Y is containing P, Q, R. A is mapping to Q, so B and C also mapping to Q. Function is G here. Then G is a closed and continuous map. As we have already checked the continuity of this function in the previous example, now we only check that this is a closed map. Now to closed, if we take any closed set in X, then its image is also closed in Y. So for this we take all the closed sets. Let us take complement of it, X, B, C and Y. And tau 2 complement is, it is Y, Q, R, Q and phi. So these are the closed sets in X. If we take image of X, then it is Q only, because all the points of X are mapping to Q. So it is closed in Y. And if we take BC here, so its image is also Q, it is also closed in Y. And if we take G of phi, it is phi, so G phi is also closed in Y. Thus we can say that G is closed and continuous map. So further we have another example. Let X tau 1 be a topological space and Y is another set here which is containing A, B, C, and tau 2 is a topology on Y. Then in the first part, F is a function from X to Y, which is given by F of X is equal to A for all X belongs to X. It means all the points of X are mapping to A point only. So if X is a set and Y is a set which is containing A, B, C, so these are the points of X, all are mapping to A element. It is a function here. Then F is an open but not a closed map. Now we take any arbitrary open set in X belongs to tau1, then its image is equal to singleton A only, because all the points of X are mapping to A point only. So F of A is equal to singleton A, then which is open in Y belongs to tau2. So if we take any open set here, then its image is also open in Y, because A is arbitrary open set here. So we can say that F is an open map. For the closed map, if we take any closed set in X, then its image. Now we will check that this F is a closed map or not. For this, we take any closed set in X, then its image should also closed in Y. Now take any arbitrary set from tau1 complement, so it will be closed in X. Then take its image. Now F of A is equal to singleton A, because all the elements of X are mapping to A only, but it is not belongs to tau2 complement, as tau2 complement contains phi, BC, singleton B and phi. So these are the closed sets in Y, but singleton A is not closed in Y. So we can say that F is an open map but not a closed map. Now in the second part, if G is a function from X to Y and G of X is given by B for all X belongs to X, then G is closed but not an open map. Now for this, let us take X set here, which are containing some points, and Y is a set which is containing A, B, C, and all the points of X are mapping to B, and function is G. Now to check that this G is closed map or not, we take an arbitrary closed set in X, then its image should also closed in Y. Let us take an arbitrary closed set from tau1 complement, so it is closed in X. Then take its image, and all the elements of X are mapping to B, so it will be singleton B, and tau2 complement is B. B is closed set here, so this belongs to tau2 complement. So if we take any arbitrary closed set in X, then its image is also closed in Y. So we can say that G is closed map. But it is not open, as if we take A belongs to tau1, so it is an open set in X, then its image is B only, because all the elements are mapping to B, but does not belongs to tau2, as tau2 is containing A, AC, but not B. So we can say that this B is not open in Y. Thus G is not open map. Further, we have one example. Tau I represents the indiscrete topology, tau D is a discrete topology, then tau U is a usual topology on the set of real numbers. Then show that no two topological space, it is a indiscrete topological space, discrete topological space, and usual topological space are homeomorphic. Here homeomorphic means if we take one function from one topological space to another topological space, then that function should be continuous 1 1 on 2, and its inverse function should also be continuous, or it is similar to say it is an open map. If we take one function here f1 from indiscrete topological space to discrete topological space, if possible, let us suppose that f is a function from indiscrete topological space to usual topological space is a homeomorphism map, then it implies that F1 is a continuous, which gives that every open set in usual topological space is open in the indiscrete topological space, and F1 is a open map also, and it means any open set in indiscrete topological space is also open in the usual topological space, but it is possible if F1 is a constant map. But if F is a constant map, this implies that F1 is not a bisective map. So we cannot say that it is a homeomorphism. So which implies that F1 is not a homeomorphism here. Now if we take a reverse of this function, means usual topological space to indiscrete topological space is also not a homeomorphism. Now next we define another function F2 from discrete topological space to usual topological space. Let us suppose it is a homeomorphism. It implies that every open set in the usual topological space is open in the discrete topological space, and every open set in the discrete topological space is also open in the usual topological space. So if we take any open set in the discrete topological space, we can take any singleton set in this, because singletons are also open in the discrete topological space. Then take its image, that will be F2 of X. So it is also a singleton set, but this is not open in the usual topological space, because singletons are not open in the usual topological space. So F2 is not a homeomorphism. And if we take a reverse function, use a function from the usual topological space to discrete topological space is also not a homeomorphism. So we cannot define any homeomorphism map from these topological space. So that's it. Thank you.